the Mexican restaurant in Morgan City.
No, the fake orange juice.
Mott's Mailbag, sending you dumb questions and watch us give even dumber answers. Not Mott's Mailbag.
You got mail.
Oh, I agree.
Let's get to our Not Mott's Mailbag, brought to you by the Lafourche Concert and Events Club. If you ever have a question for us, shoot it our way. The easiest way is when we put the Facebook status on Wednesdays. Just drop a comment on that. But if you got a way to text us, whatever, send it to us direct. That's okay too. Our first one comes from Kyle, the sponsor, / Kyle, the Catholic, who wants to know, when is Curtis Ogeron making his MMA debut? Cue it up, Nick.
I could just imagine hearing Joe Rogan doing announcing. Curtis, what you doing in the octagon?
Considering that he got tapped out the last time he was in a MMA style parking lot brawl.
That result is contested. I don't remember seeing him tap out. I wasn't sure who won it. Maybe it's time for a rematch.
No, he definitely tapped out.
He was about to get choked out if he didn't tap out. But
so if you actually put that guy on a card, it would sell out.
Oh, absolutely.
This dude has a legitimate cult following. Like, people want to see this guy get beat up. Nick, you need to get an AI song made with that quote.
Okay.
Oh my God, dude, I would die laughing if you got that.
Somebody has the technology to remix that.
Yes. Curtis. Oh my, no, I can't even think about it. I don't think we're going to see an MMA debut at any point. Let me ask you this. Have you guys on either a boxing or an MMA card seen guys who could fight less than him? Because we've seen some boxers who are really bad.
Yeah, just put a professional wrestler in there. He just takes a bump. And
say old Roosevelt Hudson wasn't too evil. Kyle from North Golden Meadow, who I think might be the first guy also, wants to know, what's one sport, school, or recreational that you'd like to see introduced or returned to the Bayou?
So I feel like we're good right now. We have everything that most people are interested in. If I had to pick one thing to return, it would be boxing. Because I know back in the day, when everybody was walking uphill to school both ways, that was in school. Or just a lot bigger down here. But now I think most people are too soft and insurance worried to have that.
I don't know. What have we been missing? What's come and gone?
So I don't have kids. So I know that we have flag football, but do they play on the Bayou anymore? I don't think they actually do. I think that's probably the easy answer, right?
If somebody wants to make some money, pick that league up.
I know that they go play in Lockport and Thibodaux, but I don't think they actually play down the Bayou. And I agree, Damien.
Maybe Bantam football with more than just the one local team.
Bantam used to be legit. When it was the Panthers, Broncos, Tigers, that used to be legit.
Tarpons too.
Yeah.
Is that something that never went away? It's got less popular because people don't like getting hit. I think that's the big deal.
High school wrestling, as you know, if you watch the podcast, I am all about the high school wrestling.
I know that the question was, what should we have on the Bayou? But could y'all imagine? This used to be a thing in the 60s and 70s. LSU used to have a boxing team. Could you imagine a sold-out PMAC for LSU versus Alabama boxing? The fans would be getting thrown out left and right, fighting each other. You got LSU fans drunkenly yelling Tiger bait to Alabama fans while there's combat fighting going on below. Dude, that would be nasty. That'd be nuts.
It'd be awesome.
I agree. Oh, I agree.
If you are searching for TikTok content, this guy, Jimmy Clifford, he's at the Jimmy Clifford. His gimmick on TikTok, I don't know what kind of money this guy has because he's got some pretty expensive ones, but he'll write this big, long story to these people. Tito Santana was about it, that he brought a date to an Indian restaurant and he down his leg. And Tito gives this story about, hey, look, just forget about it. It happened. Don't ever talk about it again. It's pretty interesting.
Like, serious, doesn't think it's a joke. Tito's giving him advice.
Happy Father's Day, everybody. Today, I bought a Cameo and I sent the craziest Father's Day specific prompts that I could think of to AJ and Big Justice.
Hey, AJ and Big Justice. My teenage son, Kevin, refuses to shower because he thinks women are attracted to his scent. Can you convince him hygiene is not going to ruin his riz?
What's up, Kevin? It's Big Boom AJ.
Hey, Big Justice.
Kevin, this message coming to you from your dad. Dad, for sending this message to Kevin, you got a big boom. So, Big Justice, check this out. So what Dad writes here is that Kevin, his teenage son, refuses to shower because he thinks women are attracted to his scent.
This is so weird.
But if he showers, then he would smell better. He probably
not
smells
showering.
like a
You know, Big Justice ain't showering.
No.
That's a big boom. I mean, it's a kid playing sports and like socks and stinking and
hygiene is not going to ruin your wrist.
Hygiene is not going to ruin
This
your
is
wrist.
so
I mean,
awkward.
elevate the wrist,
It's going
right?
to bring the wrist way up.
Yeah, right. You get yourself some
Get a
soap
chicken
and some Dr.
bake.
Swatch, right? Get
Yeah.
clean up, right?
And then maybe go over to say hi to the Rizzler, and he'll tell you if you got wrist.
The Rizzler will let you know if you got Riz. Yeah, you got to get rid of that scent. Right? You can't go
Big Justice is
You can
so
find deodorant at
he is
Costco.
so intimidated by the Rizzler.
The fact that we have been spying on Tommy during the show, and that's not the most awkward thing that we've done today, says a lot about us, man. That was weird as hell. But that is a good idea, though. That way to throw the cameos,
So
for sure.
I believe that was $245 to get him to do that.
My guy's got him a cameo sponsor. We need to work on getting us a cameo sponsor.
Save us like $20 a week.
What is something disgusting that you take pleasure in doing? Blowing snot rockets. Ryan from Yankee Stadium wants to know. This is a weird question.
Yeah,
Something disgusting. I don't take pride in doing much disgusting stuff.
So I don't either. My worst habit, and if you watch me closely on here, like you awkwardly watch me close on here, I got a bad Zen habit.
Yeah.
And I got a bad habit of leaving the discarded Zens. So not to take you down the Zen knowledge route, but if you get the Sweden Zens, there's a place in the can to put the discarded ones. The American ones, not so much. I don't get pleasure out of leaving them. I think I'm just a lazy piece of shit. But allegedly, there's a code in the gym, if we're getting treated like shit, that we just throw them on the floor of the gym.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, like I bite my fingernails. That's kind of a
might
gross
be
habit.
sunflower seeds, and you got a mouthful, and you don't spit them out at all while you're eating them, the whole entire mouthful of them, and you're just talking like this because you got a mouthful of sunflower seeds. When I'm working, I usually eat sunflower seeds, and that's
do a whole TikTok while you're working with sunflower seeds in your mouth. That would go viral.
When I accidentally text y'all, voice text is going to be interesting. Just going to be jarbled.
I've been told that this is gross, but I don't think that this is like overly disgusting. I eat watermelon seeds. I don't think that that's terrible.
Weirdo.
You swallow them?
Yeah, like I
The
chew them
black
and swallow.
ones?
Like, I think that they taste good.
You can have watermelon growing in your stomach.
I mean, I'm okay with that. But yeah, like blowing snot rockets. No, Ryan, we don't do anything like that. We almost poured Gatorade on the floor of the Raceland gym once.
We're gentlemen here.
Yeah. Ryan from DTB wants to know, are Indiana Fever games more exciting than the majority of NBA games? Great shooting / passing by Clark, opposing players pushing Clark around, Clark's teammates retaliating later.
Last night was rough.
It was. I'm going to make everybody mad, so I'll just go ahead and go first. Kaylin Clark likes to be a victim. She likes to be the one that's diving on the floor. And if you noticed last night, she was doing the whole, hey, hold me back. But nobody was actually holding her back thing.
You mean the same thing Angel Reese did?
Yeah, look, I'm over both of them at this point. Like, they both like to be in the news for not playing basketball. Credit to Angel Reese for buying the trademark to me bounce. That's a pretty smart business move on her part. But
somebody already had it.
Oh, okay, so she wasn't able to do it?
Before I give my answer here, we're talking about Angel Reese. We didn't have her on our agenda, but I did have something in my mind to talk about.
Played good again last night, by the way.
Did they win?
No, they didn't win.
No.
17 points, 10 rebounds.
I ended up on TikTok today watching her top 5 moments or whatever. So everything I said Friday on play-by-play and last week here about respecting her for being human, I'm taking all of that back. I'm done with it. She's a me person. She's awful. I'm just done with it. Watching her talk about herself, and you said a couple weeks ago that she's never said that she's the best. Watch the press conference today that she said that, so I could replay that if you need me to. But she's just not that good to have that much of an ego. She's like me coaching, and I hate myself when I coach. I'm not that good, and I have a freaking huge ego.
Look, here's the thing, though, dude. Come on. Caitlin Clark took the Ric Flair bump into the turnbuckles last night when that girl got next to her.
But
man.
we love that.
Like nearly 100% of the rest of the country, I am not watching WNBA anyway, so I really don't see what's going on.
Thank you. That's my thing. I don't care which side of the fence someone's on. I'm just over it all. I was interested for about 30 minutes, and now I'm done. Y'all had y'all moment. I'm out.
But you don't think like a game like last night where they all just kind of fought, like that has to bring some type of attention. They played the Lady Suns or whatever, and it seemed entertaining. I think they had maybe 3, 4 ejections in the last 90 seconds. Caitlin Clark, you talk about relating everything to wrestling. She has a bodyguard now.
Yes, she does. Does she ever?
Cunningham is either going to get killed or she's going to get paid from sponsorship deals from protecting Caitlin Clark.
I will say that she does have Omos now protecting her. And that is, I guess, interesting. But yeah, again, look, I tried. I made an honest effort. I'm over it all. I don't want to watch any of that anymore.
None of it's good.
None of it's good.
Cunningham may be my favorite player in WNBA now. Just
don't know what this next question is. Ryan from the chat wants to know, are spaghetti pocketbook sandwiches underrated? What the is that?
I had to think about this for a little bit. Pocket sandwich has to be a one bread fold. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that is underrated. That is actually really good. Okay, I'm with you there. All right.
Are y'all in jail? Spaghetti sandwiches, man. Come on.
No, that's good stuff, dude.
What's not made in the shower?
Spaghetti sandwich
made in the shower.
That ain't sandwich. So I think they are underrated, but what's severely underrated is a potato salad pocket sandwich.
Oh God.
I don't do potatoes.
That's all carbs. You anti-carb.
It's still good. I can't tell you what's good and what's bad. That's just something that's good.
How long before the first annual group chat podcast /Bayou Sports /DTB charity golf tournament from Robert from Frisco? I would love to have this, but my concern is that we get it all organized and we get celebrities lined up and we get the course booked and then Brennan would cancel it. He wouldn't let us do it.
So I think that's an idea that we kind of have floating around, like a group chat scramble type of deal. Maybe not an official type of thing, but cruising around for rules and cool things that people do. There is a tournament that a group of friends put on where every beer you finish takes a stroke off of your score.
Oh, my God.
Imagine if we put 8 people together, right? And we put a GoPro or an iPhone filming that in their cart. I think that would create some beautiful content.
We still have to do the challenge, by the way. Scramble between you and I, 100 yards in every hole versus Pierce from the tees. That needs to happen. I think we could beat him. And with as much as you've been playing now, I think we could beat him.
Pierce is really good.
And he is really good. But yeah, we need to make that happen.
I think maybe like a precursor to that, Pierce has been playing that little game that Nick has with the chipping mat, and he's probably really, really good at it. Because he sent me a picture of him chipping over a tent with a pool underneath, and he was still making it on the other side.
Oh, wow.
I think that's going to be the precursor to the actual event. He wants to do something like that first.
All right. Sounds like a deal. Well, I got an easy one here. Big Mecca, Kevin Nacio wants to know, what's the biggest red flag at a down the bayou crawfish boil? And, Kevin, I've never seen this at a down the bayou crawfish boil. What?
So Kevin Nacio, it was a big deal.
Oh, my God.
I've never seen this added down the bayou crawfish boil, but when you're seasoning the shells, and this is mostly like a social media, hey, I'm from Texas, I'm doing a crawfish boil thing. So I've never actually seen this down the bayou, but when you're putting Tony's on the part that you're not even going to eat, you're a jackass. So that'd be my answer.
Same kind of answer, except I'll take it one step further. There's these idiots that put mustard prior to seasoning it on the outside. That's that
was my answer.
No-go.
The mustard all over the crawfish is ridiculous. Also, what's the orange stuff? The guy that puts the orange juice in the crawfish boil.
Oh God!
See, that's not terrible. But if you only use that, it's terrible.
How do you start doing that? You buying sacks of crawfish, all the fixings and stuff, and you're like, I ain't got any water.
Yeah, you can't just boil it in Tampico. that's not what we're here for. I've added Sunny D instead of oranges.
But
at a
all
time.
Tampico.
No, you can't do that. No.
What makes you start doing that?
I'm going to leave that to you to answer.
Fair enough. What company could go bankrupt tomorrow and be good for the world? Jimmy with the keys from Galliano wants to know.
My answer is Beyond Meat. No need for that company to be in existence. Eat a damn steak. Also, any foreign seafood producing company.
Hey, that's a great answer.
So, the revenue for Beyond Meat last year is $334 million.
Jesus.
And it's probably going down every year now because their stock is just plummeting.
Protest Beyond Meat.
So, and I would have to go with maybe Raytheon, Boeing, any kind of military industrial complex companies, maybe the IRS.
That's a great answer.
Maybe the FBI.
Why Boeing? I'm curious.
So weapons manufacturer.
But they don't make planes?
They do, but Boeing is the company that makes all these planes that have problems, and then they kill all their whistleblowers.
Oh.
I need to live in that world for a little bit.
It's a wild one.
I got one. How about the NCAA? We don't need to have them anymore.
Seems like they're going away.
Let us regulate ourselves. Let the schools be their own bosses. We don't need you guys skimming off of the top. What do you guys do? Oh, bro, you on probation, dude. No, not. We're not NCAA anymore. We don't need them anymore. And I think within the next 5 to 10 years, they're not going to be a thing anymore. I think that they are dying a slow death right now as we speak.
Jay Trahan in the chat says every AI company.
100% disagree with
me too. AI is amazing.
But AI's made me really dumb. I don't have to think anymore.
You have to think about prompts to put in there to get what you want.
I see where he's coming from. I do like AI, and I've made graphics and images, and we all have. But, don't we see a world where it's going to get so sophisticated where, there's going to be a video of Donald Trump telling the Chinese president to go fuck himself, like I tell Chop, and it's going to look so real that the Chinese president's going to think that that's real, and then, we're going to start World War III off of something that didn't even happen.
The AI videos are getting really, really good right
That's where I'm going with that. At some point, we're going to, like NIL, at some point, we're going to have to regulate this stuff.
Speaking of Jay Trahan hating AI, I'm currently making a song about Jay Trahan hating AI.
On AI. Let's see.
Good intro.
Then where's the lyrics? Okay,
see, this is why it needs to go away.
Okay, get rid of AI.
I watched a advertisement for some AI video company, and I'm sure that was made by, and this guy just prompted, make me a 30-second commercial on a Nutella flavored Coca-Cola product, and it looked like somebody had spent 4 or 5 hours editing that, and it's unreal right now.
When robots start killing us, I say maybe AI has gone too far, but the little things that you can do with Chat GPT and Suno.
We got the Chat GPT chips in our brain now. We don't notice the mistakes either.
GPT screwed me.
We're not capable of thinking anymore. I like this one. Routed from Raceland wants to know, as a former or current coaches who take everything to heart no matter the age, group, or situation, what does your post-loss routine consist of?
I'll probably stay way too late if it's a home game. Way too late in the gym by myself. Come home, sit in this room, drink a beer, maybe light a cigar, and watch game film until about 4 o'clock in the morning.
No wrapping a bat, running a mile?
I'm not running a mile. I may wrap a golf club at this point with barbed wire.
Yeah.
That's what we had him doing.
Yep, sure did.
My way home is a silent trip. I don't really say much. I remember one time I thought we had a good team. We went to our first tournament for All-Stars. We lost our first 2 games, and we were done. And I came home, locked myself in the shop, and I put together furniture for about 3 or 4 hours.
What is it about people and wanting to do construction after losses, man? I don't get it.
Keeps your brain occupied.
Yeah. I used to do the whole silent treatment, drive home in silence. And if it were something that were doable, if there were ever a way to replicate, for instance, if LSU loses to Alabama in football, I'll play NCAA on easy and beat Alabama by 1,000. That's something that I'll do. I'll try to venge kill the loss via a video game or something where it's relevant. I usually try to bully something.
It definitely makes you feel better.
Yeah, it does. I think so. Next question on the list. M&M's, what's your favorite color, and do the different colors have different flavors from cheese leg and Fouchon? They don't have different flavors. No, they don't.
There's a whole big thing about that, man.
There's no way M&M's have different flavors.
Skittles are the same.
I don't think they have different flavors either.
So here's the trick, and I actually Googled this. Skittles have a scent. When you're putting it in your mouth, it smells like lemon or it smells like grape. But other than that, it's just sugar.
I don't know if I've ever just put a single Skittle into my mouth. I usually get like a handful.
I remember you one time doing this, mixing Skittles and M&M's in the same jar and laughing at all the people putting handfuls in their mouth. That's always a good time. I think that was in Gloucester. I think that was in Mississippi.
Might have been.
Like Travie. Oh, yeah, bro, come get some M&M's. What is this? That was a good time.
The last time I went there, we played Bean Boozle. That's something that would probably be
no.
to play on a Wednesday night.
Oh, yeah, nothing like a good grass flavored jelly bean.
That's the worst one.
Are we all in agreement? They don't have different flavors, right? Well,
Not on M&M's for sure.
What's your favorite color to eat?
yellow,
Green. I don't know.
I'm a blue guy now.
blue. All right, yeah.
We got a text question. This is from a month ago, but I forgot about it. Phrases we say down in Bahia that the rest of the world does not. Examples: DTB, we speed up the radio. Everyone else just turns the volume up. We pump the horn. Everyone else honks it.
Yeah.
We were raised drinking from a hose pipe. Everyone else wonders what the hell a hose pipe is.
Apparently, the whole icebox thing is just a
Highly
down the body
contested
thing.
topic in my household.
Kess is my personal.
Kiss, yeah.
Gap is another one.
Oh Lord, my dad calls it a jep. Got stung by a jep.
Shaw's is another personal favorite.
We're overthinking it. This is one that we have said thousands of times. Oh, bruh. Who else says that? We constantly say that.
Our crappy fantasy league that Tommy hates on, every time you say that, you have to take a shot.
Oh, whoa, that could be bad for somebody.
Some people pass out by the AC.
I'm trying to think. Who are we looking at as the number one pick in fantasy this year? Like, I feel like fantasy football's changed. It's not running backs no more. I feel like you got to get receivers now, man.
I think it all depends on the league and how the scoring system is set up.
I know that some leagues, they tell you to pick a quarterback early, but I feel like they got so many good quarterbacks now that you don't have to do that. That'd be a good question that we'll maybe do a little more research on.
So I can tell you I got stuck with Anthony Richardson last year. Somehow I waited way too long.
Marcus from LCO wants to know, why don't kids swim or hydro slide in the bayou anymore?
This is a good question because I feel like nowadays the bayou's probably actually cleaner than it was in the 80s and 90s.
Way cleaner.
You have this washer that you don't want anymore. Just go throw it in the bayou. You have whatever appliances and sofas, just throw it in the bayou.
Dead cattle.
Yeah, and I feel like they don't do that anymore.
Kids don't go outside anymore.
That's the answer.
I feel like the bayou would be safer to swim in and hydroslide in than it was when we were kids.
Everything that you just said is 100% right, but what Damien said is the answer. Kids don't go outside anymore. For Victor or Silas or Jackson or Lyndon or anything to go in the bayou, yeah, like some families have a swimming pool. That's, hey, I got to walk 30 steps to get to the swimming pool. To get to the bayou, you have to actually exert effort to go way outside. Kids ain't interested in doing that anymore, man.
And then you got to get out somehow.
Yeah.
That was always the toughest part for me. Speaking of pools, Nick, did Claire tell you that your pool pump exploded yesterday?
No.
Oh.
I was chipping golf balls and I hit your fence. She thought the pool pump exploded.
She did tell me that you hit the fence and she's like, thought it was me that was hanging out in the pool and not working.
Are we still invited July 4th for the Nick A. Bear Barbecue Bash?
We could definitely do something.
No, we already got invited. Claire invited us. That's all we need.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, the
Who's
boss
cooking?
You.
Me.
You were volunteer.
Oh, Big Steve got to come over, bring his little whatever he does, and
little brisket.
Yeah, he can make us a little brisket.
Speaking of, Big Steve from the Eternal Place of Optimism wants to know, what's more fulfilling, making a big shot and silencing a road crowd, or making a big shot at home and the crowd goes wild? That's a great question, Big Steve.
Oh, that's a good one.
The shh is hard to beat. When you hit a big shot and the crowd just going silent and you just shushing them all the way down the court, that's hard to beat.
I will say this, and I was actually watching hockey, shame on me.
Shout out Florida Panthers.
Yeah, Florida Panthers keeping that Canadian drought going. So the last game that was in Canada, the Florida Panthers were winning by 2 goals late with a minute left. The Canucks, I think it was, pulled their goalie, as you do late in the game, to get an extra offensive player. Florida scored, and the arena went from party to Brock Lesnar Undertaker immediately. And that, to me, was extremely cool. And as someone who was in the arena when Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker, I'm going with that silence is cooler than that eruption.
I'll go 2 stories here. I don't know if I necessarily have an answer to this question yet, but I may talk myself into one. There's no better feeling of winning a game you're not supposed to on the road.
Yep.
I could remember when I was coaching at South Lafourche, we played Morgan City on the road.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
We stole the game, and this fan started kind of chirping at us while we were getting on the bus.
How many cops they had there? None?
Probably 0.
Yeah, none. Yeah, I know the answer. The answer is none.
And my dumb ass, I can't keep my mouth shut because I have 0 discipline. And exactly what Casey's doing is exactly what I did to that gentleman. And I think Pokey might have saved my ass. I think that's who it was. And that was no better feeling than that, because that night you were better than them. But then I think back to my first year coaching at Golden Meadow at 2012, maybe. Big Cam, knock him.
Oh, yeah.
This dude, awesome kid.
Corner 3.
Not the best basketball player in the world, but just a great teammate, great guy to have around, worked his tail off. And we were a late game, last home game of the season, beating, I don't remember who it was, Bayou Blue or whatever, by 30. Cam got some minutes, and he hit a corner 3 that we set him up for. And I don't know if I've ever heard the Golden Meadow gym that loud.
That's cool.
I got goosebumps telling the story, but Cam's awesome young man now. I'm going to say shutting somebody up on the road. I talked myself into that answer.
Another one would be a boxing show in Lafayette. We go in, underdog, going against the hometown guy who the show's basically
undefeated
for, and we beat him.
In the boxing game, if you go into somebody's hometown, you got to beat them decisively almost twice sometimes, and to get that win over there is pretty neat too. But that Morgan City stuff was awesome.
Yes, it was. And was that the year that we were preparing to play Morgan City the second time? And go figure, the head coach at the time was a nervous wreck, not wanting to play them the second time, and they had to forfeit the game.
Man, I remember sitting in that office looking at we would refresh the power rankings every 5 seconds, and I got an alert on my phone that our power ranking went up and went C, and they had to forfeit all those games. I don't know if that was the same year. There was one year Seth Bourne did the gator chop to their fans from the bench because he was hurt. We won in overtime. He might not have been hurt. He might have been playing. I don't know if that was the same night. I'm old.
Now Seth is coaching the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Duval.
I remember one time you guys against Morgan City were coaching against a certain coach at Morgan City that we weren't all that fond of at the time. Maybe he had spent, I don't know, like 10 or so years coaching college. And you guys beat him, and there were some pleasantries being exchanged. Yeah,
there was no game that person wanted to win more than that game to beat that coach.
Yeah, I still like you guys. I like that silent arena.
Got a couple questions from Mark in the chat. Mentioned LSU baseball, talking about the Pelicans trade.
They sure did. Yep, got a first-round pick in this year's draft from Indiana. And Indiana is going to get the Pelicans' first-round pick next year.
I think Indiana's getting their own pick back.
Yeah, their own pick, yeah.
So the Pelicans got a first-round draft pick, plus we have number 7. Are we trading up to get somebody that can make a difference?
I trust them to do whatever's the most foolish thing possible. They want the guy from Rutgers, apparently. Y'all tell me, how good was Rutgers this year?
I don't know, but they have a couple guys in the top 10, and how you gonna have a team that's not even that good and then get a couple top 10 draft picks?
Thank you. That's exactly my point. Aren't the Pelicans a team that we consider have a couple of good guys on their roster, but they're 21 and 61? Yeah, he would fit in beautifully.
Mark mentioned Coastal Carolina baseball. They're hot right now.
They've won 20-plus games in a row, man.
On the fire. We're going to see them if we beat Arkansas, and that's not a team I want to face right now.
Shout out Coach O. I see he's talking about Coach O wants to move back down the Bayou. Coach O is going into the Bayou Region Athletic Hall of Fame tonight. Actually was asked by the Chizo family to go out to the ceremony tonight. I had these obligations, so chose not to attend. But Coach O joining the best of the best in our Bayou Region Athletic Hall of Fame. And I'm sure tomorrow all of us here are going to be doing the same thing. When Stan posts all those YouTube videos of the inductions, we're going to be going to their page, and we're going to be watching the 10, 12 minutes that they put together on Coach O. That's going to be awesome to see.
You know it's going to be an awesome story, man. He's going to bring it. He's going to be emotional. It's going to be pretty neat. I don't know if I ever told you. I went to a SCIA event through work. I got to listen to Brian Kelly talk.
That's cool.
I think it was before he may have coached his first game, kind of on a recruiting trip. Anytime you get to watch a big-time coach like that, no matter if you like him or you don't like him, it's worth the time.
I either talked about this on the radio or I talked about this with y'all. Throwing a little shade at Arch Manning, saying, yeah, Arch Manning's legit. He's got talent, whatever. But, like, my dude's played 13 SEC games or whatever the number is, and Arch hasn't.
Rapid firing questions in the chat.
What y'all take on DeJounte Murray staying with the Pelicans organization, an organization that does not take care of their players.
Yeah, it's
he
true.
was forced, wasn't he?
It's true.
Everybody says that. Yeah.
Saints Hall of Fame inductees today. The only one that I saw was Brett Maxey.
Saints Hall of Fame.
There's going to be 3 people that we know and 1 random dude that we never heard of. Tracy Porter, Brett Maxey. So
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Shout out Tracy Porter, best cornerback in Saints history.
No, he's not.
Oh yeah,
and they're honoring Ed Daniels.
Oh, that's really cool.
I don't remember what year it was, but I got a chance to go to. The Saints have like a Hall of Fame party where they have a bunch of auction items, and it was a pretty cool event. Got to meet, of course, Michael Lewis was there, Nick. But I got a chance to meet Mike McKenzie.
Was he delivering the beer?
I did a shot with Mike McKenzie. Thought that was pretty cool.
I beat Michael Lewis 35-0 in Madden once. When Drew Brees was on the cover, they had a party in the city and media was invited, and you got to go play Madden against the pros. He was terrible. About as good at that as he was at, like being an NFL player. Hammered him.
Did he just run straight out of bounds on every play?
Joe Horn was pretty good. Deuce McAllister was awful. Michael Lewis was awful. A lot of those guys are not very good at video games.
We're going to do a story time podcast. I got drunk with Tanya Harding and Leon Spinks.
What?
Yeah.
Tanya Harding. She was on a boxing card?
She was. It was pretty interesting. We ran through a fountain at one point, and there's a couple people that I brought back to their rooms in a luggage cart.
Oh.
Why would Tanya Harding take up boxing? And why do I?
Because she was a professional fighter when she was a skater.
That's the biggest heel in the world.
Yes, she is. Unapologetically a heel, too. Oh, look at that. She's actually fought several times. 3-3. If you count the win against Kerrigan, I guess 4-3.
Was she not fighting that card that we went? Oh, Nick, you weren't there, you said.
Nah, I didn't go to that one.
Oh, you were at the James Toney fight.
Was that the Butterbean one?
That's when I almost fought the lead singer of 3 Doors Down. That was a star-studded event.
I say, what are we talking about, guys?
I missed out on a lot of good stuff, Casey.
Yeah, man.
So,
I became y'all friend a little too late.
The lead singer of 3 Doors Down and Butterbean are like BFFs. So that guy, whatever his name is, led him to the ring. And I'm in the entrance or the side entrance. And the dude kind of me and moves me out the way. I was like, bro, I grabbed him by the back of his shoulder. And I said, I don't know who you are, but this ain't happening, bro.
Fair enough.
And of course, I had Zane on the side of me. So
that makes it easier. Okay. Yeah. And look, to be fair, yeah, we've gotten into some issues at Biddy and stuff. And then Stephen Lyons' music hit. And,
it's good to know folks like that.
100%.
I'm trying to see when this was. Sorry, we were off the rails here.
Oh, no.
Dustin Poirier fight coming soon in New Orleans. That's why New Orleans is not hosting WrestleMania, because of Dustin Poirier's fight.
Really?
Yep. I'm convinced.
It's part of it. Yeah, we're getting next year's Money in the Bank. That's part of it, for sure. Why do the Knicks fire their coach after an Eastern Conference Finals run, yet we keep Willie Green after 21-win season? 2 words. I got 2 words for you. Mickey Loomis.
That's one franchise that's not satisfied with only going to the conference semifinals, and one franchise that's definitely satisfied with being in the lottery every year.
And guys, y'all know the crazy part? All assumed whenever the Knicks made this decision, like, hey, they got Mike Malone in the hand. This is not going to take long. They haven't even interviewed him. They've interviewed everybody else. God, I've told nobody, everybody else. They're going to get someone not as good as Tom Thibodeau. It's crazy.
That would be a Knicks thing to happen.
Yep. So thanks to everybody for listening to our mailbag. If you have any questions in the future, be on the lookout on our social media, or if you have a way to get a question to us direct, feel free to do so. For Nick Hebert to my right and Damian St. Pierre to my left, this is Casey Gisclair signing off. Thanks so much for listening to the Group Chat Podcast, not Mott Mailbag, brought to you by Lafourche Concert and Events Club.
Oh, I agree. Mott's Mailbag, sending you dumb questions and watch us give even dumber answers. Not Mott's Mailbag.